Good morning. Welcome to this special edition of Indianomics. I'm Lata Venkatesh. Well, the Reserve Bank struck on Saturday afternoon quite unexpectedly. You saw the Reserve Bank impound 3.25 lakh crore of deposits, which the banks had collected from September 16 to November 11th as cash reserve ratio. Now, what this means is for 3.25 lakh crores, for which the banks may have spent either 4% interest as savings deposit or 6% as fixed deposit, they get nothing. They have to give the entire amount to the Reserve Bank as cash reserve ratio, on which they get zero interest. So that would be a temporary loss of interest. However, banks have since November 11th collected something like 6 lakh crore. So there is still about 2 lakh crore with the banks, which will be earning an interest in the very least of 5.75% at the reverse repo window of the Reserve Bank. So there is still liquidity in the system. Banks will be investing that money in government bonds. So it's not as if the entire bond market is bereft of money or that the banks are bereft of money, but banks are losing some interest on the deposits they collected from September 16 to November 11th. The entire policy will be reviewed on December 9th by the Reserve Bank. This is a temporary measure. The Reserve Bank has made that very clear. And now to analyze why the Reserve Bank did this, what is the future course of action, what is the impact on banks, what is the impact on bonds. We have a star panel with us. Joining me first is V. Srinivasan, the Deputy Managing Director of Axis Bank. We will also be joined by Amandeep Chopra, the Investment Officer of UTI Mutual Fund. In a bit, Arundhati Bhattacharya, Chairman, State Bank of India, Arun Tiwari, Chairman, Union Bank, Parag Zariwala, the Banking Analyst at Religare, Anant Narayan, the Managing Director and Head of Trading at Standard Chartered Bank, and Vikas Khemani, the Vice President at Edelweiss Securities, will also be joining us. But first, let me start with Srini. He is with me in the studio. Good morning, Srini, and thank you very much for dropping in.
Morning.
Well, as a banker, what's the impact on banks?
See, I think we have to just step back and see why RBI has gone ahead with this measure. If you look at the excess liquidity parked with RBI, it is already in terms of reverse repos, it's almost 5.5 lakh crores as of now. And if you look at the deposit accretion of banks, it looks like this is going to continue at a reasonable pace even over the next couple of weeks. RBI's stock in terms of how much they can absorb through reverse repo is something close to 7 lakh crores. So clearly, if that number is likely to get breached over the next few weeks, and what does RBI do? Then they need to borrow clean from the banks to absorb the liquidity which is with banks. And I think that's what they're trying to do, clearly saying that I have a limited appetite, or my appetite in terms of borrowing through reverse repo is nearing its limit. Now, how do I absorb the excess liquidity which the system has? And they've estimated that need to absorb about 3 odd lakhs of liquidity from the system, and then keep the residual under reverse repo. And that's what they've done. So how do we absorb the 3 lakh crores? You have multiple options, and they've gone with the option which is possibly the cleanest in terms of trying to say just impound the money and keep it with us. So 3.25 lakh crores to be kept with the RBI. Doesn't have much impact in terms of immediate short-term liquidity, because as I said, we already have 5.4 lakh crores with the RBI in reverse repo, out of which clearly 3.25 lakhs goes back to RBI as this incremental CRR stipulation. So overall, I would think, this is a liquidity management measure. RBI had to mop up this liquidity in some form, and they decided to do it through incremental CRR.
Maybe you're being a little kind. RBI has used that instrument which benefits them most and hurts you most as a banker. Even if it is only for 15 days, maybe.
There is a P&L impact. I think clearly if you had...
Actually, why don't you start with that? How much may have been for Axis Bank the deposit accretion up until November 11th? What is your approximate CRR?
No, I don't think so. Let's not go into individual bank-wise. I think clearly, you would be placing it in reverse repo, as you said, around 575, whatever the number is. And whatever number which you have to put back with RBI as incremental CRR is not going to earn you anything. And to that extent, there is a P&L impact.
Okay. We'll come back to you in a minute. The P&L impact is there because what they have borrowed at maybe 4% or 5% or 6% from us savers is not going to earn money for a limited period of time. But Amandeep Chopra, the debt wizard from UTI Mutual Fund, is also with us. Amandeep, will there also be an impact on the bond markets? We saw yields crashing from what, 6.6, 6.7 all the way to 6.2. I think I even saw 6.12 on Friday morning. What's the impact on bonds on Monday?
I think the bond markets, both at the short and the long end, will react somewhat to this event. If you look at the way the markets have actually rallied over the last 2 weeks, we're essentially on two key drivers, right? I mean, one was clearly built around this big liquidity build-up in the banking system, which eventually would have led into incremental buying of government bonds. So I think that was one driver. The second was also in anticipation of a much more dovish stance from RBI, leading to rate cuts as early as December. So one leg of this rally, I think, clearly is going to get tempered. The expectation that the central bank will actually allow the policy rate or the overnight rate to actually fall below even reverse repo is going to be tested. So I think this measure, in my view, clearly will lead to a little bit of a retracement on Monday. Possibly you could see a very sort of a sharp knee-jerk reaction early in the morning, maybe a 12 to 15 basis point sort of hardening of the 10-year yield. But I think end of the day, there would be some bit of value buying coming in, and I would expect the markets to sort of end closer to about 6.32, which is about 7 basis point or more from where we closed on Friday.
Okay, Srini, come in on this. What we were given to understand is that most of the bankers had not put their savings manna into bonds, that they had kept most of it in reverse repo. So do you think that now there will be a greater tendency for banks to go into the bond markets and therefore there is a flow?
See, again, we have to assume that the liquidity situation continues to be still comfortable. I don't think so there's any issue.
No, not comfortable, absolutely abundant.
Yeah, so to that extent, I don't think so the absorption of 3.25 lakh crores is going to impact in terms of trying to say people have to sell bonds to sort of generate liquidity to park with RBI. I don't think so we are in that situation. So I think there's the impact is not just this liquidity measure. The feeling the market is now going to start thinking what's coming next in terms of, okay, we have given up 3.25 lakh crores to the RBI. Now, as this liquidity starts building up, what else can come as far as RBI is concerned in terms of liquidity mop-up? And I think that is what is going to bother RBI. But otherwise, I would still think that any reaction in terms of more than 10 basis points, as Amandeep is saying, if it happens, I would still think it's a buying opportunity. Because ultimately, with an economy which is likely to sort of be a lot slower than anticipated, and clearly credit demand being a lot lower than what otherwise you would have expected, I think you have nothing else to do but to buy G6.
Okay, but Srini, exactly that. The fear that the Reserve Bank could, on December 9th, look at the situation, probably see that maybe 1 lakh crore more or 2 lakh crore more has come by way of deposits, continue to impound it. And, is there a when do you think that...
So I think that will be laid to rest on December 7th when the RBI policy comes out. Clearly, in terms
why should it be laid to rest?
I think you would basically get a view in terms of how exactly they're going to manage the situation. I think you have the policy in terms of whether it's a rate cut, whether it's in terms of liquidity management, whether it's in terms of policy outlook. You would get something from the RBI which clearly tells you how exactly they're looking at the situation. Okay. And I think that is going to be key. And the event in terms of review is after that, after the policy. And I'm reasonably hopeful that a lot of these things which market is going to be speculating about will be clarified in the policy.
Well, my experience in the previous policy was that not much was clarified, and now you're in a situation which is nebulous, which is, actually evolving as we speak. So, I don't know how much RBI will be in a position to clarify, but we've got the biggest banker in the country with us. Arundhati Bhattacharya, Chairman, State Bank, joins us on the phone line. Mrs. Bhattacharya, thank you very much. I know these are very, very difficult and busy times for you. Thank you for joining. What's your first reaction to yesterday's CRR announcement?
Well, the first reaction obviously is that these are extraordinary times, so you can expect extraordinary measures. But at the same time, we do think that the banks need to be compensated for this loss. And I believe that the RBI is well cognizant of the fact. So we are hoping that this is a very temporary measure and that subsequently we will be given something which will ensure some amount of remuneration to the banks.
Yes, that point is taken, ma'am. I was speaking with Srinivasan Varadarajan of Axis Bank. He is with us in the studio. And his point also was that there is a loss of interest on that 3.25 lakh crore. Ma'am, just for some numbers, how much did you all collect in terms of these deposits till November 11th? And what is our SBI's collection as of today?
You really want me to give you the numbers?
Well, approx at least. I mean, I don't expect you to.
Around 80,000 crores.
Okay, on November 11th. And right now, you all may have got, what, 2 lakh crore?
Yes. Yes. But as deposits, I think the numbers will be a little less.
Okay, okay. Why would you say as deposits? Because there would be...
Because the numbers that we are looking at, 2 lakh crores, is actually inclusive of things like exchange and stuff like that.
Enough.
So basically, 2 lakh crores is the amount of old currency impounded, actually.
Okay. Okay. What could
as
be
deposits, the numbers will be lesser.
How much might it be, ma'am?
Around probably 1.6 or so.
Okay. Now, you know, the RBI has said it's reviewed on December 9th. How do you visualize the policy? I mean, you would be able to put yourself in the central bank's shoes. They have only 7 lakh crore of stock of government security bonds, which they can give as collateral in reverse repo. So do you expect that this 9th will only mean a further pushing of the date, that the CRR would continue probably for all of December, maybe January?
No, I don't really think so. You must understand that the RBI is equally cognizant about the issues that the banks have. And it is in RBI's interest also to ensure that the banking system remains healthy. I think this is a temporary measure till they make arrangements for either some market stabilization bonds or some other means for remunerating banks. As you know, today, as per Act, they are not able to pay any interest on CRR. But these are, as I said, extraordinary times, so extraordinary measures could be taken. But they take a little time in order to be, put in place, because there are various formalities that need to be taken care of. Okay. I'm sure RBI must be thinking on some lines along these things that I've spoken about. And they are quite cognizant of the fact that the banks are going through, they were already under a lot of pressure, that in the recent past they have been under enormous pressure. There have been expenses also for this entire exercise that we have undertaken. And I'm sure RBI would want its regulated entities to maintain good health.
Ma'am, I tweeted yesterday saying that my heart goes out to the banks and the bankers for the amount of work they've put in. This looks like really taking away what little they were making in terms of interest rate differential. But Mrs. Bhattacharya, now won't this impact transmission? You all came with a giant transmission step on your bulk deposits. Now would you think before you take the next step?
Definitely we have to think, and we have to think a number of times. Having said that, liquidity is still quite high in the system. So it is not that, liquidity will tighten hugely. We have to see how it tightens. I'm not too sure. Tomorrow once we open, we will review the situation. But in view of the fact that, the credit demand is very low, and therefore, liquidity is still quite flush in the system. So we'll have to take a considered view, both ways. Normally, a CRR hike would mean that the transmission would automatically sort of stumble. But let's see how it works. Means there are two things that normally, we work on when we are transmitting. One is of liquidity, that is very important, and of course, the inflation numbers that enable us to decrease the cost of deposits. So these two things are very, very important to us for transmission. Once liquidity starts tightening, transmission automatically becomes a little more difficult.
Okay. Is it likely that now bankers, instead of keeping the money in reverse repo, will more likely invest it in bonds? Because,
that is going on, Lata. That is going on. It is not as though banks they are sitting on their backsides and not doing anything.
No.
I think that's the case. So we are trying to put as much of money in other more paying instruments as possible. So I think we'll definitely continue that effort. But there is only so much of appetite in the market, and the rate of inflow is far more than the demand.
Okay.
And that's what is causing this requirement of the reverse repo.
Any guesses at all, ma'am, what may be the sustained increase in deposits? What may go back when the withdrawal limits are taken off?
My own estimation is 10 to 15% is what will remain in the system. The rest will go back.
Okay. And any guesses at all as to when the withdrawal limits could be raised? Will you all be okay on December 31 going by the rate at which currency is getting printed? Or do you think there is a little bit of a chance that the withdrawal limits also will have to be extended?
By December 31st, I think we should be okay. Frankly, everybody wants to see the first salary season, how it works. Because that is when, the requirements spike. As you know, the salary week starts from Monday.
Yes.
So this will be actually the test to see what is the requirement at this point of time. Have we been able to get more people to rely on using their cards and things like that instead of just drawing in cash and spending at the stores again? So this is quite a test of that. Once we are past this salary week and we understand the requirements that people have of cash, I think thereafter slowly these restrictions will come down. And of course, by that time, hopefully with all the presses running full steam, I think there also the supplies will also get augmented.
Okay. The problem of salaries at every individual end as well. Even I am worrying if I will be able to get enough cash to pay the few salaries that I have.
Why do you need cash?
For the maids, ma'am. I don't think my maid will still...
No, see, I have now got 2 impressed cards, one for my driver and one for my maid.
Okay.
So I load them with money, and whatever little they have to spend, they go and spend it wherever.
Maybe we should try a RuPay card with her as well. I mean,
yes,
I'm just saying...
An interest card. An interest card is very simple,
Okay.
Or an easy pay card if it is a salary you are paying.
Okay.
Because every month you will simply be able to load it on that, and they can continue.
No, I take your point. I take your point. I've even told her that I'm ready to buy her groceries and her medicines on my card. I mean, she's
not... No, let her use the card. They need to get used to it.
I take your point. I take your point. So you don't expect a fall in bond prices in the week starting Monday?
See, we have to see what the market reaction will be. It's very difficult for me to predict these things right now. Okay. I would think that initial reaction will be that there will be a fall.
Okay.
But I think as time will go on and the liquidity stabilizes in the system, we should come back.
Okay.
But I would not rule out a fall at all in the first 2 days.
Okay. If you can share that number, what is the loss you all may have to incur because of this?
No, I don't think I want to share any numbers as of now, because these are very ballpark numbers.
Okay.
Obviously, our systems we haven't yet met ourselves.
Yes.
In a committee, we need to meet and we need to work out the numbers more precisely.
Fair point, ma'am. Thank you very much for joining us with this perspective as well as whatever details you could share. Thank you very much for joining us. Okay, Mandeep, to come back to you on the bond market psyche, what do you think is going to be the bond market psyche? Will they think that, okay, this is step 1, should we expect more, and therefore is 10 basis all that it will lose?
So I think there was fair amount of, I would say, unfounded exuberance, especially into Thursday of last week, in terms of, like I said, expectations from both liquidity front, the sort of proportionate buying that banks are doing, and also in terms of the rate hike. I think with this move, RBI has very clearly sort of reinforced its stance towards neutral liquidity, and has sort of sent a signal to the markets that they will not allow the overnight rates to actually even go down to the reverse repo or below reverse repo, which was actually market expectations. So I think from that front, clearly, markets will now start looking to assess their both short-term, purchases, whether it's in, CPs or even treasury bills, as also trying to now look at whether RBI will, actually go forward with a very aggressive rate cut in December policy. Now, just look at the rationale behind, why, RBI had to do this. Clearly, the estimates are that you will see anything between 10 to 12 odd trillion rupees worth of, old currency coming back into the banking system. I believe as of today, the Minister of State mentioned in one of his rallies that 8 trillion rupees has already come in. So I think clearly there is a limit to how much RBI can absorb through reverse repo, given the fact that they have only about 7.2 odd trillion rupees worth of government bonds. So clearly this move in our view was anticipated. I think there was sort of a view that CRR is a very sort of a blunt tool and will not be utilized, and there could be some CMBs and maybe some other measure to try and suck out this liquidity. But clearly, yeah, right. So I think RBI has clearly shown that they can use CRR for short-term purposes, and I think just look at the numbers alone, right? I mean, why did they choose September 16th and 11th November dates? I mean, the number actually coincides, the sort of the accumulated deposits, about 3.25 odd trillion, coincides very well with the term reverse repo which is maturing over the next 3 days, which is also close to about 3 trillion rupees. So I think RBI has used this very smartly to sort of pull out some of this excess liquidity and have enough leeway through reverse repo and even term reverse repos to suck out additional liquidity as it builds up, because clearly till like I mentioned 30th December you could say anything between 10 and 12 trillion rupees worth of total flows into the banking system.
Okay.
So I think bond markets now will watch a little bit more cautiously on further liquidity measures from RBI, and I think the expectation, like I mentioned, that they will allow markets decide overnight rates at something even below reverse repo, in my view, will not now be a sort of realm of expectations.
Okay.
So a little bit of correction, and then let's see how things develop.
Fair point. Amandeep, just stay on. We have to take a quick break. We are getting you more reactions as well from the stock markets on how they will react, especially towards bank shares, in a minute after this break.